Welcome to the Casso podcast, episode 11, Revenge of the Sith.
What? There's no episode 11, Dad.
There is in my book.
That's fair. No, yeah, dude, I'm excited to be back.
I'm a little excited. You're still sick?
I'm still sick. Yeah.
Dude, if you get me sick, oh, buddy.
I doubt it. But this was the first time I've been sick where I'm like, I'm going to take medicine. And I haven't taken a drop of medicine. And it feels like it, because I've still been sick.
It looks like it too, buddy.
I know.
You look rough.
Dude, I feel rough.
I'm just joking, you know.
I've taken like 3 days off of nothing. No gym, no nothing. Just exist. Yeah, and hope to feel better.
That's how it all goes.
Yeah, no, I feel.
What's new, man? I just saw you a minute ago, but what's new?
I know, dude. That was
we did the whole podcast without recording it, so
yeah, that was a Casso podcast first. Saying that, I was being sick and I was home for 3 days, didn't do much. And I was like getting stir crazy, so I told my dad, I was like, dude, let's go get lunch at least. And then of course, we get lunch the day of recording. An hour before recording.
Well, we got to do a little pre-production, which was cool.
Yeah, no, I mean this episode's probably the most like.
Well, this episode, honestly, being that we will record next week, but Thanksgiving's on Thursday. This is the Thanksgiving episode. Ooh, wow! Even though I forgot to put a turkey up here, but I did. Okay, I did put a cool prop. I have to give props out to my JFK bust. My godmother bought me this before I was a lawmaker, so it was still legal. She bought me this. Okay, she won it at an auction at the Adams County Democratic JFK dinner.
Wait a minute. If you're a lawmaker, it's illegal to have?
Yeah, you can't take gifts as a lawmaker.
Oh, got
I wasn't even a candidate yet, just so everybody knows. So now again, that was 20 years ago, but still, she won this at auction and then gave it to me to kind of like kick off my run for office. So that was kind of cool. So shout out to my godmother. Thank you, Nani. That's what I call my godmother, because I couldn't say Nina when I was a kid. But she got me this at the JFK thing, and then she gave it to me. She put my name on it, everything. It's beautiful. It takes a prominent place in my man cave. It's actually one of my most prized possessions. It's worth a lot of money because I know she auctioned it for about $2,200 and then gave it to me.
Damn.
So that's pretty cool. But it's in honor of, unfortunately, JFK being shot in 1963 on November 22nd, and so that's coming up in 3 days too. And so we have to definitely recognize it, and honestly, definitely recognize one of the greatest presidents, even though his life was cut short, but one of the greatest presidents that ever served in the United States, just with the ideals that he had and the vision and the we're American and we're gonna fight the Russians kind of thing. He was just a president, like an American president.
Up for no business.
Yes.
Or stand on business.
He was a president like a president should be.
Jeez. In other news,
I'm not saying it about any other, but he was a president like a president should be.
Yeah, dude. No,
Yeah.
I'm JFK's cool.
Yeah.
Those my age that played Black Ops 2 zombies. No, JFK's cool.
Well, I wasn't born when JFK got shot either, but
Yeah, no, but
I can read a history book every once in a while.
yeah, true.
I don't read books. I read internet.
That's the same thing.
No, I read AI. That's real internet.
Anyways, yeah, no.
You know what? Actually, okay, I got it before. I don't mean to cut you off, but I actually did find tinfoil hats that will be on set here in a couple weeks.
Shout out Junior, Jason Junior. We talk about it. Anyways, no. Other than that,
Dude, you're a bigger conspiracy theorist than I am.
of course I am. We need. That's what we should do an episode on that. Comment down below if we
It
should
will
do
be
a conspiracy episode.
The episode will be entitled Generation Z. Ooh, see, that's a comparison. That's you know what it is.
Mhm.
A conspiracy theory.
Yeah, no, but
In and of
other than
itself.
that, other than staying at home, I was blessed. Shout out JoJo. We're going to WWE SmackDown on when this episode comes out, actually Friday night, and that's
At Ball Arena
yeah, no, that sounds super. I'm super stoked.
or at the Pepsi Center,
Both, either
McNichols Arena.
it's the same. McNichols
That's what it was called when the old one.
before Pepsi.
Well, when the old building was there,
What?
before they built the Pepsi Center, dude.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
But now Ball Arena.
Dude, you're old as shit. You're
I'm
old.
I'm old as what? We don't cuss on this
I know.
podcast.
My fault. Anyways,
Yeah, yes, we do.
yeah, we got demonetized. Dude,
We got demonized.
demonetized. Dude, in hindsight, we probably shouldn't have had lunch before this. We had a little too much fun at lunch.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But let's get into the podcast. I want to talk about what's been going on in this country. I want to talk really what's going on with the Epstein files.
Epstein files.
Epstein.
Nope.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Same thing.
You say potato, I say potato.
The Epstein files. Anyways, for those who aren't in the know, which you should be,
Who?
there's a lot of people. Like at work, I've been having this conversation a lot.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've been talking about the Epstein emails, which is like a whole nother subcategory of Epstein. And I'll go up to somebody and say like, "Oh, did you read those emails?
No.
What emails? What are you talking about?" And then I'm like, "Wait a minute, like we live this, you know what I mean? This is a part of our lives. We should probably."
Our president makes us live it every hour. Okay, let's get down to brass tacks. So let's talk. I know you want to bring up the emails and talk about
Mhm.
specifically about them, but let's talk about the big picture overall. Do you think Trump gets away with this? I want your opinion from you personally, son, and then as a representative of Generation Z. Do you think Trump gets away with this and has no effect, and he remains the president of the United States?
No,
Okay,
I
tell me
don't.
why.
I don't because of how weird he's been with all of it. Which we honestly, this is my favorite part is don't just take my word for it. Go back and rewatch what we were saying. You know,
Yep.
he was singing a way different tune 2-3 months ago.
2 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
No,
no, about how it's a Democratic hoax and
no.
it wasn't real and all this and all that and how it doesn't make sense and whatnot. Only for him just the other day to say like, release the files. I don't care. We have nothing to hide.
No.
Which is like his probably and I'm his probably only play that he has
Yeah.
left is to release these files.
No.
So it's weird how Pam Bondi was like, I have the files on my desk to we read them and they're not important. You know what I mean? To make that drastic of a jump, in my opinion, is crazy and does not make sense.
Well, what's funny is they're so unsophisticated politically. They actually don't understand that there's a lot of different. Not just the FBI and the Department of Justice have copies of all this stuff. There's other agencies, and there's going to be whistleblowers that are going to be like, "Hey, wait a minute," and then you're going to be able to cross-check if you see something Mar-a-Lago, XX, Donald Trump is crossed out in black, and then Mar-a-Lago, Melania. I mean, there's going to be telltales. There's going to be financial records. There's going to be those kind of things. They can't hide this anymore. And I'm glad that the House and the Senate did an amendment to kind of play those kind of games, because honestly, that's what amendments are. They're basically playing games with any type of legislation that you do federally or
Well,
at the
I
state
mean,
level.
did you see the like? It wasn't the other day, but it was a couple weeks ago when Cash Patel was being questioned on the
Yeah.
Epstein files. We didn't talk about it, but
Yeah.
we should have because he's just as weird
Mhm.
with his eyes like this all the time.
Here, let me do.
I'll see
Okay.
you in Valhalla, brother.
I'll see you in Narnia.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like,
Narnia.
what? But he was getting questioned about these Epstein
Yeah.
files, and he was like the um guy questioning him.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is. Smart guy, because he was like, he appears in the Epstein files more than 20 times.
No.
And Cash Patel was like, no, not more than 20, or not less than 20.
Hmm.
So how many times? How many times?
Well, it depends. Is it before it got blacked out or after?
Yeah, you know what I mean. But
Because that's the game they're playing. And what's going to happen, like I said, there's going to be whistleblowers that know, that have actually read it. On all the attorneys that have been involved in the Epstein case at the state level and at the federal level know all this stuff already. And so eventually the victims, the whistleblowers are going to come out. The victims, there's going to be people in government, and there's going to be the attorneys that were actually litigating the case on both sides that are going to be like, hey, wait a minute, that's not true, and we have proof of it. And so what's going to happen is I posted on Facebook today. I was like, has to be the most unsophisticated group of people that I've ever seen in politics. I don't know how he ascended to the presidency, but how does he stay there? I don't think he stays there either. I agree with you, son. I think that within probably by Christmas time he's going to be out of office. And
which is crazy,
yeah,
crazy to think. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, I saw John Stewart, or um, what's his face, the other one.
Oh, Daily Show.
Yeah, but the Colbert.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
watch them almost every night just to pick apart their arguments or pick apart
Jon
their
Stewart.
brain. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
but Stephen Colbert. Yeah,
Yeah, and they were uh, they were saying like, even if it like doesn't get fully released, he looks terrible. He looks bad. You know,
yeah.
when talking about, we're gonna jump segments a little bit. Those emails, regardless, like some of them, uh,
obviously, and I mean this without ever offending or trying to bring up any points to the victims not being
Of
hurt at
course.
all, but there's a couple of them that was like, what,
Hmm.
is this real life? But one of the big ones for me that not a lot of people, in my opinion, are, especially people my age, are understanding, or is when I think it was Ghislaine that was emailing Epstein,
Hmm.
which Ghislaine Maxwell is was his accomplice in everything. She was saying like Trump is the only dog that hasn't barked yet.
Hmm.
So even if let's give him the benefit of some doubt and say that he never was involved fully. He knows, and to be that silent about it, you know what I mean? And to be that silent about it's wrong, but to be Trump and to be that silent about it is crazy to me.
And like we were talking about at lunch, dude. Okay, everybody that's ever seen Scarface know what happens in Miami in the 1980s. There was a culture of cocaine. There was a culture of sleeping around and all that kind of stuff. And you did all of that, especially if you thought you were a powerful person, like of course Trump did.
Yeah,
He's this big real estate developer, blah blah blah. This, so just the circumstantial evidence of Mar-a-Lago and Palm Beach and Miami and all that kind of stuff. We all know what happened in the 80s and early 90s there, and so it's like you can pretend that you weren't there, but we all saw you there. I mean, there's thousands of pictures of you there, not just with
right.
Epstein, but in that whole social circle of powerful people that really didn't care about the law. They thought they were above the law.
Hmm.
And so for one, and I used to talk about this honestly back 10 years ago, I was like, all that stuff in Trump's past, all that celebrity stuff, all that kind of power. I'm one of the most powerful men on earth because I'm a developer, this kind of stuff like that. I'm like, how he's never going to be able to make it to the presidency because all that stuff will come out beforehand.
Yeah,
Well, it didn't. Well, some of it did, like with the Billy Bush and that kind of stuff. The tawdry play towards women and that kind of stuff like that. But all this other stuff didn't, and now it's going to come out, and it's going to come now. But I did see that the attorney general actually is pushing it out 30 days already. So maybe I'm wrong in saying Christmas will be then, but definitely by the end of January he's going. There's going to be a reconciliation, and he's going to be part of it.
well, who was that reporter in the emails? Mark Wolf?
Yeah.
Why haven't we questioned that guy?
He's bound by a lot of confidentiality agreements,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff like that. So
Because we saw those emails about him in
mhm,
2017, like
no,
I forget what word verbiage they used exactly, but they
sure,
were like, we got blackmail on him,
yeah,
pretty much.
yeah,
Like, oh, if he wants to, because in 2017, he just became the president, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, he was given there was an interview about,
yeah,
this,
yeah,
but there was an interview, him talking about Epstein, and it was like the in the email between Epstein and Wolf, he was like, oh, well, we could play this in our favor almost. We got
yeah.
we got dirt on him.
Well, honestly, that he spent the first year of his presidency, and he had Thanksgiving's coming up next week. He had Thanksgiving with Epstein. Epstein. I forgot. I'm changing it to Epstein because he used to say Frankenstein instead of Frankenstein, so I'm going to say Epstein instead of Epstein.
Never said it that way.
I try to make. I blame it on you.
Yeah. So
You say meme. I say meme. You're
gross.
such a dork.
No, but
Okay.
I think, which by the way, oh, that's what I was going with that. With I think it was Kimmel, Colbert, or Stewart. They were saying that
No.
this is probably the most unity the parties have seen in a while. One guy, I don't even know who it is.
Some dude from Louisiana, but it was just like a protest vote. It used to be like when I was in the House, it would be 64-1. I was just doing a protest vote.
Yeah, just to do it.
And but Paul Weissman, he'd be like, yeah, he'd all come and be like, yeah, that's how you vote, Casso. And I was like, yes, you protest when you protest. So it doesn't matter. But the point being is they put it on unanimous consent in the Senate, which means every senator said I vote yes for it too. So
Yeah, which we haven't seen that in a while either.
I don't remember the last time we saw something like that coming out of this
So
Congress.
I'm not saying that, obviously, and that's the thing is somebody was talking to me about these Epstein files and whatnot, and they were like, "Oh, well, what if Democrats are on it? What if Republicans are on it? I
That's
don't care
fair.
who's on it
Yeah,
at this point.
they all need to go down.
They all need to go down.
Yep.
I don't think
Yep.
that the biggest sex trafficking ring the world has ever seen
Yeah.
deserves no consequence for anybody.
And I think that one vote, that one no vote, shows
Hmm.
how we can be Americans. And again, get back to that
Right? Yeah.
80%. We can be Americans as a country when we're talking about pedophiles and hurting young women and that kind of stuff. We can all unite against that. And I
And
think that's a
and,
good thing.
and that's the best takeaway. If
Mm.
let's just play devil's advocate for a second. Let's say Trump isn't named on it.
Yeah,
Let's just play that game.
sure.
Okay, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Then we at least know the truth. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unredacted, un
Mhm.
uh speculation, all that, at least we know the truth. And
It depends if the FBI touched the files or
settle down.
or the Department of Justice. It depends on that. But again,
Mhm.
there'll
But
be ways to cross check it.
But
for
you're
sure.
right. If he's, and I mean this, if he's innocent, he's innocent. However, can we find out, please?
Yeah.
I want to know for sure if he's
Yeah.
innocent or not.
Yeah.
And I feel like
And
I hope that a lot more, all Americans feel that way.
Yeah.
About anybody.
And again, it seems like I have a personal vendetta against the president. I don't. But again, this is just another way that, in my opinion, he's desecrated the office of the presidency and the Constitution. And so I don't necessarily think that this is the best conduit. Like I think we talked about it even on the podcast last week. I don't like using, this type of situation in this scenario as far as that as a way for him to get out of office.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it either because he has done a lot more than this to disqualify him from the presidency.
Because unfortunately, like, I hope we're not, and I don't know how to say this 100% correctly, but from our behalf, I hope that we don't ever, not that any victim is really watching us right now, but I hope that we never offend the victims of what had happened, whether anybody else was involved. We know who was involved.
Sure.
Like, we know, like, the main person who was involved.
Yeah.
The main two.
Well, and it's like we always talk about on the podcast, and justice is justice.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when it comes to, young kids and young women, no, there's no excuse, there's no justification,
And there's no holding hands out or
there's no
forgiving any of that.
There's no moral high ground, because if you're either against it or you're with it, and if you're with it, you're a bad person. And that's all. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Speaking about bad person, last email I'm going to talk about, and it was like the biggest, the biggest one for me, other than the Trump is the dog who hasn't barked yet. Jeffrey Epstein said that Trump is the worst, like the most evil person he's ever met. Jeffrey Epstein said that?
Yeah.
Epstein, of all people, said that
Yeah.
Donald Trump is the worst person, the most evil person he's ever met.
That's like the devil calling you a jerk. That's like the devil saying, "Where are your morals?"
Yeah, no, really.
Yeah.
That's wild. That one was wild to me.
I posted that on Facebook and got into it a little bit on that too. But it was like, if somebody like Epstein says that about you, that really says something.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think you're 100% right. It's like the devil calling you a jerk. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I've never.
That was a good point, though, son, because it does kind of tie it all together. In that, I get it. You want your party to win. You want Republicans to win. You want conservatism to. But again, we go back to it, and I will keep going back to it. He's not a conservative, and he's definitely, in my opinion, not representative of the Republican Party, because most Republicans I know are good, decent people.
Well, if I'm being completely honest, too, this past week has been insane with Trump.
No.
Like him calling that reporter on Little Piggy, or him calling that other reporter a terrible person.
Yeah.
That just doesn't, because of the station that she works for.
Yeah.
That's not right. You know what I mean? Like
it is beneath the office of any. It's beneath the office of dog catcher, much less president of the United States.
I'm not nothing. I'm a bartender at a, but I don't think I could ever 100%, unless I absolutely meant it, tell somebody that they're a terrible person or call them piggy.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah.
And to say that the president gets away with that, and I haven't really seen MAGA respond.
Well, he gets away with it because everybody lets him get away with it, including Democrats. I mean, seriously, what about the other people in the press poll right there? If I was a reporter, a male reporter, and I saw him talk to a female like that, I would really go off on him. But hey, wait a minute, sir.
But then that's just not morally right. You know what I mean? You can't disrespect somebody for doing a job. You know what I mean? When that lady, side note, that lady on Air Force One that called a piggy, quiet piggy.
Yeah.
What did she do other than her job?
Yeah.
Because she asked a
question you don't like.
Yeah, right. Which I can't even remember the question, but I'm sure it was about everything.
And that's the nature of the business too. I mean, as a reporter and as a politician, you don't want to answer the hard questions. You want to deflect them. You don't want to answer it, but you don't ever call people names or anything like that. Yeah.
Like the one on the other day when he called her a terrible person. That question was a little crazy, because they had, what a thing to ask.
Now, I'm not going to talk bad about the Prince of Saudi Arabia because he can actually touch me.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, he can. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just joking. He's a bad guy too,
No,
because
but
he did order a hit on an American journalist, so he's a bad guy too.
but what a question to ask
Not that
while
he,
they're
not that
while
he's,
he's in the
not that
room.
he's watching the Casso podcast.
Bo Nix is.
Bo Nix is, because I'm his biggest fan. I saw it on Facebook, so I saw Bo Nix was going to watch it
I
after the
did.
Bronco game. Okay, let's get away. Let's transition into Bo Nix. Let's get away from all this, because I have a feeling we're going to be talking about the Epstein files for the next 2 months on this podcast, anyways, and we're
Dude,
going to be talking
you
about
know
it.
what's crazy? Episode 13 is going to be the Epstein files. It's going to be a 2-hour long episode.
Episode 29 is going to be the
Yeah.
Epstein files.
Episode 29.
Episode 29.
One of these episodes will be the Epstein. You got me saying it now.
You said Epstein.
Will it be the Epstein files, and we'll have to go through all of them and share our mind on.
You know who scares me? Frankenstein.
All right, let's get into.
Halloween was just a couple weeks ago, buddy.
It was. It was. It was a
I
good
know
time.
somebody that looks like Frankenstein too.
So do I.
All right, let's get into football. Let's get into the playoffs. Where the playoff hunt is on. The Broncos are leading that playoff hunt.
9-2, Dad.
9-2. 9-2. Bo Nix has stopped being Bo Picks. Bo Nix has stopped being an average quarterback and has become the best quarterback in the fourth quarter, just like somebody I know named John Elway. There we go. So tell me, what's your take on the playoff picture and then the Broncos specifically, Sonny Boy?
Broncos
We're
are
going to
looking.
we're going to the Super Bowl.
I don't know. Maybe the Super Bowl.
Where's my rings? I need another one after next year.
I'm really hoping 9-2 is a great way to start. We were talking about it at lunch today. There's not a lot of teams that scare us anymore.
No.
I think our remaining schedule is the Raiders, Chargers, Commanders. This is not in any order, but we got Raiders,
Packers,
Chargers,
Chiefs, and Chargers one more time. Yeah, at the end of the year.
Yeah, so I'm not.
We may lose one more game. Now, though, the caveat to that is that New England and Indianapolis have a horrific schedule compared to Denver, especially.
Honestly, so do the Chargers.
Yeah,
the Chargers don't have it easy.
Well, the Chargers are going to charge. Sorry, Manny. Sorry, Manuel. Their Chargers are going to charge. Say, you got to apologize to your Charger friends too, because the Chargers are going to charge. Your boss.
They're running out of charge.
Yes. Justin loves the Chargers.
No, but they have no offensive line. Their running back just got hurt,
and their quarterback isn't a gamer.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm hopeful for it. I mean, we're 2 games up on them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 1.5 because they beat us, but we're going to beat them right back in Denver. So 2 up. But yeah, Herbert is a good quarterback. I mean, obviously he can throw the football and that kind of stuff, but he is not. Like we always talk about, there's a psychology and there's a moxie about being a quarterback, and it's not just how you throw the football; it's how you process the game. And anybody that can do both, obviously, is like Peyton Manning or John Elway. But Bo Nix obviously is not there yet as far as his skill and his talent goes. But in his head and those fourth quarters, I saw something on Facebook. In any quarterback's first 2 years in NFL history, Bo Nix has more fourth quarter comebacks than even John Elway in the first 2 years.
I believe it. Those games suck.
Like, well,
these games lately have been like, please,
mini heart attacks, dude.
Yes, the
every
entire
week.
time. Which you say it's John Elway. I wasn't alive. This is Tebow time, man. It feels the same but better because we don't like Tebow doesn't have to run 200 yards to score. You know what I mean? Our quarterback doesn't have to run 100 yards to score a touchdown.
I wish Tebow had stayed here as a tight end or an H-back and switched from quarterback, because he would have been. I think he would have been an All-Pro at that too. And with Peyton Manning as his quarterback, see. But he wanted to play quarterback, so go lose your job with the Jets and Patriots, and now you're out of the league, buddy.
He came back for like a week with the Jags, no?
I don't know.
He played tight end for like a week. Anyways,
it was too late. But
I love Tebow time. But
I actually, you and I both know I love Tebow too. But we're talking now. I mean, that was all fun and stuff, but we were never going to win a Super Bowl with him. We legitimately, and in his second year, dude, we have a chance of winning with Bo Nix.
Yeah, no. So that's I feel like that's one of the biggest takeaways of this year too. Is if not this year, which honestly probably we were talking about NFC side. The only team that scares me was probably the Rams.
You keep saying the Rams, and they're a good team, but I think the Rams, obviously the Super Bowl champion Eagles, could be a problem.
I don't really fear the Eagles.
I don't
Their
fear them,
offense
but
isn't
but
as
no,
yeah.
they're not as good as last year. But they're, I mean, obviously they're still a good team. And then Detroit, my Super Bowl pick from the beginning,
Well, see, like, okay, here's the thing,
just
but
because
then
their talent. Yeah,
watching how Dan Campbell's running that team has been very, very confusing.
yeah,
Did you watch Sunday
yeah,
night's game?
yeah.
It was
Nine
very like,
points.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was. That's not the Dan Campbell that I was rooting for at the beginning of the season.
yeah. And Jameer Gibbs, in
hmm
my opinion, is the best running back in the NFL. And so when you have somebody like that, and then you have St. Brown. St. Brown is like the number 1 or number 2 receiver in the league. When you have that kind of talent and you can only score 9 points, that
It
says
doesn't
something.
make sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's something fundamentally wrong.
yeah.
And you were saying it.
That was good, dude. Yeah,
Go back to episode 1,
no,
I think,
yeah,
or 2,
yeah,
where you were saying like Dan Campbell's messing with that team, and I was like, no way. But
yeah.
no, really, Dan Campbell, in my opinion, they have so much talent, and they lost. I mean, losing to the Commanders of all teams
hmm
last year
And
was weird, and then you could feel that fall off. You could see
yeah,
that fall off.
but in my opinion too, to be a great coach, you have to be a leader of men, of course,
Yeah.
but you have to know the X's and O's too. And there are very few coaches that do both.
Yeah.
If you can do both, that's what makes you a Hall of Fame coach, obviously.
Mhm.
But that's what gets you to and winning a Super Bowl. That's why I don't know now. I don't know if Detroit gets there. I mean, that obviously that was my Super Bowl pick, but again, I think you might be right. I think you're probably 85% right that the Rams will probably be the NFC representative in the Super Bowl. And
And
that'll be fun.
that will be a battle.
Yeah.
However, you were saying it at lunch, and I'm believing it now. What battle have we not come close to?
Yeah.
Even our 2 losses this
Yeah.
year have been battles.
Yeah.
You know, battles of unfortunate
hmm
last minute field goal circumstances.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, you know. So, you know, because I don't know. Here's the thing, like the Chargers, unfortunately, got blown out by the Jags this weekend.
Of course, when I bet on them too, of
Right?
course.
Yeah. So I mean, there's there's losses like that,
Yeah.
and then there's losses like what we have are 2 losses where they've been right at the end. Everybody played their hearts out, and it's just a circumstance of somebody kicked a. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
somebody kicked a field goal,
Yeah.
which in my opinion, too, we've won that way. But I mean, at the end of the day, I was telling you at lunch, a win's a win. I mean, it would be nice to blow everybody out like we blew the Cowboys out, but
Yeah.
realistically, the ball is too fast.
And it doesn't happen in the playoffs.
Yeah.
There are rarely blowoffs. Well, the wild card round there are some, but in the divisional round and in the championship games, you rarely see a blowout. And so we're battle tested for those games. And I just think Denver has as good a chance as we've ever had, not just since Peyton Manning, but we've ever had of going to the Super Bowl this year.
No, really. And Riley Moss, if you're watching this, stop.
Stop tugging on the jerseys, dude. You don't
Stop
have
it,
to,
dude.
man.
You don't. You're just as fast. You're
Yeah.
right there with them.
Yeah, you're right there with them.
We see it every week.
Hit the ball instead of the receiver. Come
Yeah,
on,
jump up, look back,
look back.
look back. You're running.
Look at Sertan if you want to know how to play cornerback, buddy.
Just screaming at Riley
Come on.
Moss.
I know.
Nobody. Come on, Riley Moss. Yeah.
Did you see what McMillan did last week? He had 2 sacks and a pick. This is the Riley Moss hate podcast, which is good because
Figure it out, Riley Moss. You're a good player when you want to be. Settle down.
Just look at Sertan and do the same thing, buddy.
Anyways, for every other team, which playoff time, it's like I don't really care what any other team does. I just care about the Broncos.
Yeah.
Which like we're not super big sports analysts, but like when it comes to the playoffs, I don't care as long as my Broncos do it. And then even after that, I'm like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
But for every other team, Chiefs, sorry,
Yeah.
the Ravens are probably going to sneak in, playoff picture wise.
Yeah, let's see what happens in Denver. Let's see what happens to Lamar when he comes to Denver.
Oof. Ooh, I want to see that defense play in Denver.
Yeah, I do.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Shout out Dakota, by the way. You're a big Ravens fan. I know you're watching. We'll talk about that at work, but no, really, that doesn't scare me. I don't think any AFC team really scares me other than maybe the Patriots.
Not me. Honestly, if you want to talk about teams that scare me, the only team that scares me are the Chiefs, just because they are proven. And so, but they're so far back now, it's too late.
I mean, Drake May looks good.
Yeah, we'll see what. I want to see how he looks against Denver's defense.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I want
you're
to
right.
see how Peyton Manning looks against this defense because I mean honestly it's that good of a defense. No
Mhm.
joke. So defense wins championships as much as I don't like to say it because I played offense my whole life, but
Yeah.
defense does win championships and we could have a historical defense
No,
just like
I
the
agree.
2015 Broncos honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they were
85
amazing.
Bears.
I mean, watching Aqib Talib say the same thing is
Yeah.
crazy because he was on that team.
He was on that
Yeah.
team and he's like this team might even be better than that. I was like, "No, I don't believe
Yeah.
that, buddy."
No.
But
No way.
I was like, and Von Miller just I mean, he's one of the
Mhm.
best to ever play, but still the collectively I think they might be better. Really.
Nick Bonito, pick it up, please.
Dude, you're getting overtaken in sacks. Miles Garrett is taking you. He has like 6 sacks more
Okay,
than you, buddy.
but to be fair, they like triple team Bonito at this point
Yeah,
because they know better.
they chip him with a running back, a tight end,
Yeah.
and then they put 2 linemen on him,
Yeah.
and he still gets through.
Yeah. So I can't really be that mad, but
No, but collectively, we are going to break that 85 Bears sack record. We're at 49 right now, and they were at 72. So we have to average 4 a game for the next 6 games to beat them. That record.
please,
Yeah, I mean teams
please.
against bad teams, we're
Yeah.
gonna
Mariota's really gonna throw the ball fast enough. Geno Smith again is gonna throw the ball fast enough.
Gino,
Yeah, dude,
Gino.
he's cooked.
So yeah, that's our late season update on the playoff picture. It's all Broncos all the time, everywhere. That's what happens when you tune into the Casso podcast.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Thanks, Bo Nix, for watching us.
Yeah. And thanks, Bonix, for playing good, or we wouldn't be able to talk this much crap to everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for
Bo Nix.
justifying me.
However, Riley Moss, pick it up.
Don't. I'm watching you, buddy. All right, dude. Let's kind of wrap this episode up. Let's go a little short this time. Just again, people are going to the holidays. We're going to the holidays into the holiday week. I just want to kind of give it to you right now, son, and kind of give you a little platform to say what you're thankful for this Thanksgiving, and then I want to kind of read. I want to kind of read a little soliloquy that I posted online today. That it really encapsulates, and it's kind of
Darkish.
it's kind of cold. It's just kind of like,
Mhm.
but if you think about what it means, it's actually pretty profound. And so when it comes to philosophy and that kind of stuff, I like to see stuff like that. So, but go ahead and tell us what you're thankful for, and then what Thanksgiving means to you.
Let me get it real quick.
Sure.
No, I think I'm thankful for this year teaching me the lessons that I need
Sure.
to learn.
Yeah.
And keeping me going.
Yeah.
And and I'm thankful for whether it's you or my friends, keeping my spirits high when the world and life is being the world and life.
Yeah.
And I'm super thankful for that because, you know,
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't even have to explain it,
Yeah.
but you know everything. And I think Thanksgiving is such a great time to get together and, you know, I see. I'm gonna be lame and be like, man, I don't believe in. I don't think about giving thanks, but
Mhm.
I give thanks in the way that I love. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Although I might not say it, being around you or anybody, being around anybody that I want to be around, I'm giving thanks and giving love to. And so I'm glad that there's a day to show that and to
Mhm.
share those memories and time and whatnot. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Good. Well, I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my kids. I'm thankful for my wife. She's amazing. She's one of the best things that ever happened to me. I'm thankful for my mother. I miss my dad terribly. He's been gone for 3.5 years, and it doesn't get any easier. It gets a little bit harder, as a matter of fact, every year. But I'm thankful for my life. I think I've had a lot of luck, a lot of lucky breaks, a lot of good fortune in this life, and I won't ever act like I don't. And so I'm thankful for that. But I want to kind of to read this, this little thing that I posted on Facebook today and kind of close out the podcast with that. It says, "What an amazing fortune to be one of the 100 billion Homo sapiens that have ever lived, and to be alive at this moment in this great point of inflection, not to be one of the 50 billion people that died of mosquito borne disease, not to be one of the 30 billion people that died before the age of 5. Can you believe that? 30 billion people that have lived died before the age of 5.
Yikes.
Not to be one of the 10 billion people that were killed through acts of violence.
10 billion?
10 billion out of
Wow.
100 billion people that ever lived were killed through acts of violence. Instead, we are witnesses to this historical moment, to contribute in whatever small way, like a podcast, to our outward expansion and proliferation as a species. To stand right now on the cusp of history as we do, what an amazing and good and great fortune.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Um, we'll be back next week with some Christmas time episodes.
Should we start the Christmas time on?
Yes.
Yeah, we should, huh?
I started it last week.
We should.
Especially listen to Christmas
This
music.
is the Thanksgiving episode. Yeah.
This is the Thanksgiving episode
Mhm.
because the next one we'll obviously film next week. Actually, we're still in discussion. He doesn't. I don't know what he's scared about going live. I want to go
No,
live.
okay.
I want to go
Time
live
out,
next
time
Wednesday.
out, time out, time out. I want to go live next Wednesday, but at the same time, I don't want to go live next Wednesday because of how Bros Givings go. However, if we do go live, they get to see my studio
Yes.
and my
Now
area.
give our audience a little bit about what Bros Giving is and what it means to us and what you do. What you do.
You drink a couple. No, you drink to get hungover enough that the food tastes better the next day.
You drink to have fun.
And what I said. So yeah, we might live stream that.
I would like to live stream it.
No,
We'll
that'd be
see if
super
we'll
fun.
see if we do. If not, we will definitely have an episode next week. So
Yeah.
we'll have an episode coming out next Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. So when you're doing your shopping on Black Friday, definitely tune into the Casso episode. Tune in now. Definitely let your friends and family know that we are on youtube.com.
I'm gonna keep saying it. Send it to somebody that doesn't know us.
Yep. /Casso podcast. Subscribe so we can get our subscriptions up. We definitely need to keep going up in order to get more seen on YouTube, and we definitely need that to get the message out. We talk about middle of the road politics. We talk a little bit about football. We're again the first. Joe Rogan himself said it. The first 30 episodes are practice for what you really want to do, and I think we're getting better at this
Number 11.
for sure. Yeah, we're a third of the way there. But and then when I started thinking about that, I'm like 30 episodes. That's half a year. But it does take a little while to get up and get to speed. And honestly, I want to be a little bit more prepared when we talk about the subjects
Oh,
too.
Dad, but
yeah.
I'm so proud of us from episode 1. Have you rewatched it
I know.
since it's
I
come
was a
out?
little-
Dude, I was like this the whole time.
yeah, you were pretty nervous, buddy.
I didn't talk. No, but I think we're doing great.
Yeah, it's fun. I love doing this every week. It's fun to.
Do you know what I love even more than that? I love when people who watch us, you guys know who you are, come up to me and talk to me about
Yeah.
it. I love it.
That's awesome.
I love
Shout
it.
out to my mother-in-law Olga because she watches every week, and she actually was sitting here, and her and
Yeah, didn't
my
they
wife
do it?
Sonia did a trial podcast. So when she comes back, they're going to actually film one of their own, and that'll be kind of cool. But she's kind of reserved lady, and she came out of her shell, and she was just having fun doing the podcast.
See, I haven't heard it, but you showed me the picture today at
Yeah.
lunch, and I thought that was hilarious.
That's awesome. So shout out to my mother-in-law. It was a great episode from what I filmed because I actually filmed it too. I was like, that's pretty good, guys.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. But we're in the holiday season, son. You know what that means. I'm a dork. We're gonna have fun. We probably will be wearing Santa hats, if not next week, the week after that, and there will be a lot of Christmas here.
Yeah.
I thought about doing Thanksgiving here, but then I thought it was more appropriate. A couple weeks ago, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put JFK. Shout out to one of the greatest American presidents, not just because he's a Democrat either, because he's a badass. But
Sonia, we
thumbs
need
up.
you to decorate this.
Why Sonia have to decorate it?
Dad, because you can't decorate that well. Sonia
Oh
can.
my goodness.
Sonia, we need you to decorate the studio, please. The studio, it's my old bedroom.
No, it's my man cave.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. That's
funny.
good stuff.
All right, yeah.
Yeah,
Again,
no.
please like us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and if we do go live next week, we will be going live on Facebook, just so you guys know
And we
too.
will definitely let you guys know about
We
that.
will let you guys know on YouTube, and we will definitely let you know on Facebook as well. If we don't go live next week, I can make this promise and stand by it. If we don't go live for Bros Giving, we're gonna go live for Brosmas. So it's your choice, buddy. Or we can go live for both.
That's fine.
Yeah. But let's see if we can. We're actually the one of the caveats to that is we're actually figuring out the mics, so we won't be using these microphones because we'll actually need our hands to hold our drinks and that kind of stuff. And so
we'll need our hands to drink.
Well, we have the lavalier or whatever you call them mics, and so we bought those. And so
I'm very excited for those.
Yeah.
I'll have to test them out tonight.
Test them out. Yeah, take them home, test them out. But that's one of the things too, is the technical thing of it. And honestly, I've never run a Facebook Live. I've been on Facebook for 20 years, and I've never run a Facebook Live. So getting all that ahead of time before we go on. But if we have that ready to go by, I'd say Monday or Tuesday, we're going to go live for Bros Giving. If not, definitely Brosmas the week before Christmas. So
No, for sure.
okay, with that, thank you again for tuning into the Casso podcast. We'll see you guys next week. Like us on Facebook, watch my memes, and don't forget to keep following the Epstein Files.
Epstein files. And
I thought we were done.
well, without him saying it, leave a comment too. That's it. That's all I wanted added.
Okay.
Okay.
Leave a comment about Epstein or Frankenstein. Either one. Okay. See you guys later.